Hello, welcome to another video. This is day 25 of 30 days React challenge. And by the way, 50% of you guys are not subscribed, so do consider subscribing. I will be creating more React content, especially this weekend. I'll be starting a very small project, not that significant, but that will be the start of it, and then we will be moving on towards the bigger projects like e-commerce and all those kind of things. So do consider subscribing. Now let's go into this day 25. Days until element. Okay, acceptance layer. You will create a simple React application that allows a user to pick a future date from a input field and calculate the number of days from the current date to the selected date. Moreover, the app will display an error if the date has been picked from the past. Okay, date picker basically. We have done this in Rails also. So start by creating an input field that allows user to select a date. Ensure this input field has an ID this, attribute this. Okay, this, let's try. I'm a bit rusty in this because date is something that I don't work with on daily basis. Like you work on these kind of things once in a project. So yeah, maybe there is a type called date, not sure. Yes, there is. And once you do enough coding, you start realizing patterns in various programming languages, and that's what makes things easy. We don't need a placeholder value actually. And when I click on this, I can select a date. I just want to know if there is a so for example, when we click on it, we get on click method. When we type text in input field, we get on change method. So in this, is there a on date change or something like that I will have to search? That's one. Before we go into that, let's read this. Add buttons, implementer. Okay, there is no code, so let's again start reading. Implementer button labeled find days. Okay, find days with the ID this. Okay, let's do this. ID this. This button will trigger the calculation. Okay, so basically on click handle find days, and we'll create a const arrow function for this, and we'll write the logic here. Okay, now upon display result, upon clicking on find days, your app should calculate the number of days between a current date and the selected future date. Display this in a user friendly way. Okay, what is the user friendly way? We might have to see that. Okay, we have to display this. If a date is in the past entered, your application should display an error message with the div ID this. Okay, I think we'll have to create two separate divs. Error and maybe output. I'm not sure if they have mentioned it. Error find days, error, the ID of the button is this. They haven't mentioned the ID of this actually. This meaning output. If today's date is this clicking should display the number 7. Okay, and they're getting 1 week until the specified date. Okay, please follow these instructions, challenges, task this. Okay, I think we can start working. So we might have to first do is const error set error. I'm not sure if we will need this or not, but let's do this and see. So by default it's null error, and what I'll do is I'll also make it a bit correct, which is if error is not null, then only we will show this. Okay, we have done this a lot of times, so I'm not explaining you this again. And we have to do set error along with output. So same we will do for output also. If output and this, and for this also we will have to do something like this. Output. This is just preparation work. We haven't gone through the actual logic part. Output. Okay, I'm just checking if the CSS will Tailwind CSS will work in this. Yes, it is working, so I'll just make it a bit better. It's block P2 M2, great. And I'll also do this for this one. It's not required, but bad habits, you can say. No worries. Let's see. Fine. Actually, BG black or maybe gray 900 and text white. Not the best choice, but yeah. And wounded empty. Okay, now let's focus on the task at hand. So what's next? We have to handle it. So first we will have to see on date change in JavaScript input. Again, repeating, you don't have to remember these kind of things. I would highly recommend that you should know all the things, like how to find things. On change, okay. So let's try to implement that first. On change E. Anyways, we have to click on button, so why can't we use that directly? Const input date is equals to document dot get element by id dot value. Let's log this. Let's see. By the way, we'll have to use class name, the most common mistake that we have been doing for a long time. What's the issue here? My mistake. And we are getting the date. So we will need use input for this. Input date, so that as soon as user selects any other date, we can get rid of the error. So we'll have to catch that using on change, like whether user has changed any date or not. Handle input date E, and in that const let's catch E here. Okay, E dot target dot value, and we should be able to get this input date. So let's see if this will work or not. 17 find dates, and it is working. 18 find dates, okay. And whenever, now as soon as we get the date, we have to get current date also. So for that, current date in JavaScript. In Rails we have in Ruby we have time.now. So let's check what is it in this one, which should be new date. Okay, we should not use var, let's use, or maybe const, because it won't change, right? And let's log this. Today it might not be clear, but I think we, or maybe I'll have to see the current code fully. Today dot get date. Okay, it is just giving this, no worries. Subtract parse string to date in JavaScript. Basically this means that now we have this input date as a string, so we want to convert that into a date. I think we can directly pass it into the date, but let's see. Okay, we can directly use this, yes. So const future is equals to new date, and in that we'll pass the input. Okay, and we'll get this also, future for, yes, just to be clear that it is working for us. And after that what we can do is find number of days, right? So we might be able to subtract that. Const number of days is equals to future minus today. Let's see what the output comes, otherwise we will search this. And this. Let's refresh. By the way, this is written multiple times, but yeah, 25. I will clear this. Input is not defined. Input date. I selected 25 this, and number of days is this. Okay, I think that's a timestamp and we just have to convert it correctly. This divide by 1000 milliseconds into 24, sorry, into 60 into 60 into 24. That should give us a correct answer. Let's see. I'll select 23 and we got 6.377. okay, percent. $25, and we got number of days is 8. Now we just have to do something like this. If number of days is greater than 0, so basically if it is positive, then we'll set it to output, okay, which is output here. Output is equals to, no, set output number of days. Otherwise, so at a time only error can be visible or the output can be visible, both cannot be visible, right? So otherwise what we will do is set error, and in that if they mention any specific error messages, no, select date from future. Okay, so this part is clear. Now what I want to do is let me show it to you. Basically 19, find number of days is not defined. Okay, oh, D should be capital. Okay, so input date is this. input date is working. Set output, have you made any mistake? Yes, we have. And we can see 1, right, which is incorrect. We'll see that afterwards. Why is it incorrect? Maybe because of okay, got it, it's correct actually. So number of days is correct, it is working. Now the issue is that if I select it from past, I am able to see the error also, so I will have to clear it out. So set error in this case should be null, and in this case set output should be null. And also this is an add-on step, we don't need this actually. When we are setting the input date, we can make error null also. So as soon as the date changes, we can get rid of the error. So let's see, run the test cases and see. So you might have noticed in this particular video that I'm not remembering anything, I'm just going with the flow. Basically I know all the concepts, so I'm just using my existing knowledge. I'm not trying to remember the code, and that's what I would encourage you guys to do. Okay, this is working. Calculate the display number of dates until a specified future date, called this. Show in the span in, okay, find days in, show in the days in integer in the span days left. Okay, we have to create a span here, not and div. Span id should be this, days left, and it should be a div with error past date entered. I'm not sure if they mentioned it in the instructions or not, but at least we haven't read that correctly. Let's see, now it is working. So I hope you have understood that the most important thing about programming is to know things, practice things regularly. You might have seen my, actually if you'll go through my YouTube history also, you'll see my discipline at least in last 3 months. I have consistently put videos, like 100 videos, almost 100 videos in Airbnb series. This is 25th video in this React series, and other videos also. So average in 90 days I have put more than 130 120 videos. So consistency is key. That's what I'm trying to stress. That will separate you from other developers. Not like doing anything. If you are just focused on the hard things, it won't work. That being said, do subscribe to my videos. Subscribe to this channel, like, comment, those kind of things. Thank you. Bye bye.